All right, everybody. So here we are. We are at our second example of resumes, and we are going to take a quick look here. If we can see it. Yeah, hopefully you can see it, of the functional resume. So this is an example that expresses what a functional resume format is. So, at first glance, it might look a bit like the chronological one. The difference is that, the meat of the resume is going to showcase, the functions by which you're an expert or that you're really good at and that you want to share. So a lot of times you see this resume format because the chronological dates of employment may not necessarily be linear and like free flowing with no gaps. You might have some time where maybe you weren't working full time, maybe you were taking care of people, raising kids, being a caregiver, taking a leave of absence, whatever the case might be. I mean, nowadays there are many different reasons why people can't work full time and they, have to take a step back from work, and that's perfectly fine. Um, you know, what we do in a functional resume is that we really highlight the experiences, the knowledge and function that you have. So here is an example. It's just an example of a template. Certainly it's partially information from people. So, but it's just an example here. So we have Jane Doe. So similarly, her contact information, etc. We do see this first same paragraph professional summary, how Jane Doe sees herself, skilled administrator in HR, nonprofits, marketing, etc. 30 years plus experience. This is some of her areas that she wants to highlight. Okay. So this is where it deviates a bit from what is next. So typically, we were talking in a chronological resume about the dates and the names of employers. Right here, what takes much more prominent view is the areas of expertise or function. So this person wants to really highlight her HR, talent management, hiring and learning, training kind of background. So she has taken time to show the functional areas. So the first one here is talent management. So she has over 20 years of experience in all of these different things: recruiting, onboarding, managing, etc. Utilizing performance management systems, developing career paths, assessing employee potential. This is where she feels highly qualified and that a lot of experience under her belt. Similarly, you see talent acquisition, which is really more about the recruitment of things, and hiring, where she and how she has built her intelligence and knowledge and experience in this area. So she's expanded recruitment plans with diverse external groups. She's, developed a recruitment strategy, etc. Okay, she's trained teams that have been involved in hiring. You see that she continues this kind of thought process with learning and development and program and project management, and you see this here. So I think maybe you'll get the gist if you see what this is. I'll try to send or share links as well so you can see it a little bit easier in the guides. Is this the only way that a person can express their expertise in these different functions? No, I mean, I've seen it where they've highlighted the area, as you see here with talent management, talent acquisition, and so forth, but they've listed some bullet points underneath that. It's not just these statements saying over 20 years, including this and this, but they have more specific accomplishments, and that would work. The difference is that they're not really lining it up by the workplace. So speaking of the workplace, you see that underneath this area of expertise, this work experience section is where, I mean, it's pretty much capturing the sequence of history, of where you worked in these different places. You don't really share all of the bullets and, itemized descriptions of your role at every place. But you are providing some sort of timeline of where you've worked in the past. So again, with the functional resume, the highlight of, the depth of the experience that you're capturing is going to be how you're describing your areas of expertise in that section. And the work experience information that shares where you did it is very minimal. So you see here, this person, talked about her title at the company name. So private sector HR fellow, general company, which I doubt is the name of the company, but that's the example that we've given here. And she has been in this position, since March of 2021. And then before that, she was a fundraising VP, name of the organization. She did that for 5 years. She also is mentioning, her senior manager role and development at the same place. I mean, this is a variation. Certainly, you can characterize this in a few different ways, but really the big takeaway is that not a lot of time is spent on the dates here, right? And even the place for that matter. It's all about the career experience that they're wanting to showcase above it. So what you will also see a little bit, further down, is the skills and award section. Again, it's kind of like between skills and awards and education. You could switch the order, honestly, because the main attraction, again, is the areas of expertise. So you see this person, under skills and award, it seems like they've really emphasized the tools that they're using in the workplace in many different places. So, Workday is an HR program, software platform for recruiting and other kinds of HR performance measurements. LinkedIn Recruiter is a version of LinkedIn that many of us are familiar with, but it's how recruiters use the platform to find people and to advertise positions. So, you get a sense that these skills and things are important to perform the job, and she's wanting to characterize it like this. She also, people have also listed awards separately as its own standalone section, but this person decided, it was just one award, so why not tack it onto the skills, which I think is smart. Employee of the Year. And then education, you see where she got her education and the degree. We don't necessarily share years. All that stuff is verifiable when we get to that point. If an offer is made to you, that they will ask for those dates most likely on the application, and the verification provider will verify that what you're telling them is accurate. So this is an example of a functional resume, so you can get ideas. Certainly there are different ones that are out there. If you have any questions, let me know.